Good morning, thriving warriors and those who wish they were. Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Friday, November 11th.
Uh-oh, I don't know that you heard that. Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Friday, November 11th.
Great. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:14 a.m. Happy Friday, Edward.
Good. Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Amargosa Valley, it's 35 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. Today's forecast has lots of sun, with a high of 54 degrees and a low of 29 degrees.
Wow. Okay, below the 30s. All right, so today's going to be kind of quick because it's running late. Good morning, Todd. Good morning. So this is Department of Career Services for Thriving Warrior, where our goal is to help you get from point A to point B, where point B is better. How do we do that? Well, we do it several ways through this podcast and in the description down below. First of all, we have a link to our 4-week basic training course online. We have a link to the motivational video that I use to create this podcast. We have a link to the TED Talk, which coincides with today's date on the 4-week basic training course. Today is week 1, day 5, Viktor Frankl. Talk more about that later. We also have links and phone numbers to services we provide to our members, including housing, clothing, food, hygiene, transportation, skills training, foundational employment, and career planning services. We, again, are to help you move from point A to point B. And we have the transcripts of Seth Godin's daily blog posting. So we've got a lot packaged in here. And this is just the point of the spear. This is the starting point, the first breadcrumb on the path to a life of a better life. So how do we do it? Well, our theme is, it's simple. Just follow these breadcrumbs to get you from point A to point B. It's simple, ... and there's a daily message. Simple, daily message. The daily message for today is never quit. You want to get from point A to point B? Simple, never quit. Simple is not easy. That's the difference. Simple is not easy, but you have to never quit. Today is Veterans Day, a very important day for all of us in America and in Nevada and in Nye County and in Pahrump, Kentucky and Amargosa Valley. So Veterans Day, very good, important day. I will start by talking about the motivational video. And I will quote some of the memes to hopefully get you to click on the link down below to watch the motivational video. Because that's what it's about. It's not about me. It's not about this podcast. It's about motivating you to get from or helping you get from point A to point B. Footnote, make sure you have pen and paper because you need to remember this stuff. It's not good enough to watch it and be amused or not amused or whatever. You have to actually take this stuff and learn it. Good morning, Diana. And make it part of your routine. Okay. Meme number 1, do you have the courage or will you die a dreamer? Do you have the courage to make your dreams a reality or try to make them a reality, or will you die a dreamer? The I coulda person. Okay. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. The haters will come out. The evil ones will pop up to thwart you. That's kind of a sign you're on the right path. Knowledge and skills are the key to success in this century. Knowledge and skills. It's not just about being at the right place at the right time. You actually need to know stuff and have skills. It's not enough to be somebody who knows a lot of things. You have to actually have skills. And that's demonstrated daily out here in at the Oasis, where we have people who may have knowledge, so-called book knowledge, but they don't actually have any skills. So this is a great training ground for that, for life. Tiny decisions. The tiny decisions that we make are usually the ones that thwart us. I'll put this off. I'll delay that. I'll do this later. I won't do this. I don't need to do that. I don't want to get out of my comfort zone, etc. The tiny decisions are the ones that start racking up, and instead of going this way from point A to point B, we go this way. Where's Charlene? I don't see Charlene on here. Hopefully all is well. She is missed. Maybe she's in the kitchen getting breakfast ready for our people. So, again, so that's an example of, it's one thing to talk about getting stuff ready. It's another thing to actually do the work to get stuff ready so that people can reap the benefits of what we have. Charlene, okay, good morning, director. I am making breakfast. Good system. Thank you, Charlene. Great. Glad to see you there. Okay. The best proof, Bertrand Russell said, the best proof that something can be done is others have done it, seeing that others have done it. President Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln said something similar to that. How do you know something can be done? Somebody's done it. Or if somebody else has already done it, you can probably do it too, if you are resourceful enough to figure out how to do it. Okay, moving on because time is racing. Today's TED Talk for week 1, day 5. Viktor Frankl. Who was Viktor Frankl? Well, a great person for our empowering the human spirit, for thriving warriors, as part of our novum-u curriculum, helping people get from point A to point B. Hold on a second. Okay, so guys, give me till 6:30, all right?
Okay.
So we have a new person here. Richard obviously just came in, but I've had some comments about distractions in the background, and we're trying to make this as good as we possibly can. So, Viktor Frankl, psychiatrist, World War II, Jew, arrested, Nazi concentration camps, 3 years, wrote about it, wrote about what it was, what is the key difference, what happens when people are in an extreme situation. Being in a Nazi concentration camp is probably as extreme as you can get. So his observations, and basically it came to man's search for meaning. That's what it is. You don't ask life, you don't ask what is the meaning of life. This is one of the things from the book. You don't get to ask what is the meaning of life. Life asks you what is the meaning of your life. And you have to answer that question. So life is a search for meaning and purpose. That's what makes us happy. Jordan Peterson talks about that all the time. If you don't have meaning and purpose, you're not going to be happy, satisfied, you're going to be miserable. We are physically and mentally designed to overcome problems, challenges, lift a load, as Jordan Peterson says, lift a load. We're designed to do that. And when we're not doing that, we don't release neurotransmitters and hormones that are designed to make us feel good by doing stuff that helps us survive. So back in caveman days, life was really tough. It was a daily struggle for survival, which for too many people today, that's still the case. It should never be the case. But for too many people, it is still the case of a daily thing of survival. That's what our brains and our bodies have evolved to be able to do, is survive. We have great endurance. We have great imaginations. If we believe something, Viktor Frankl quoted Nietzsche when he said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." If you have a reason to survive, you'll figure out how to do it. You'll become very resourceful. Okay, moving along. So again, watch the 2 videos. Watch the motivational video. Click on that link. Watch the Viktor Frankl animation. The last thing from the Viktor Frankl animation is we don't get to choose the circumstances we're in, the situation, but we can always choose how we always choose how we respond. Oftentimes, too many people turn their response over to the person who's creating the situation. We need to get that. No, we always have the ability to choose how to respond. So for Viktor Frankl, that might be the Nazis trying to break him and saying to him, "What is your mental malfunction? Why won't you just give up?" And imagine Viktor Frankl saying, "You can take anything from me you want, including my life, except for one thing, how I choose to respond to you." So for Viktor Frankl, it could be every day was just a battle to keep going one more day, drag himself back into the barracks at night, bone tired, weary, hungry, starving, and then saying, "Victory. I made it another day without them destroying me. I won. Me against the whole German army, against the Nazis, I won." So that's Viktor Frankl. Let's see what Seth Godin has to say today. Always/never. Blank, fill in the blank, is always or never the solution to a problem. You can say, let's test that with the categorical imperative. Love is always the solution to a problem. No, not true. Love is never the solution. No. Okay. In my experience, always and never are rarely useful ways to approach a problem. Correct. Okay. Sometimes requires nuance and insight and discovery. It might not be the lazy response, but if you've got a problem, it might be worth thinking about how to solve it. Right. Too many people, less educated, let's just politely say less educated people, always go for the extremes. They always go for the either or, the always never. Things are much more subtle and nuanced than that. There are greater goods and lesser evils. In fact, life is virtually always a case of greater goods versus lesser evils. There is no good. There are few good versus evil. Most of it is a spectrum of gray, not black or white. It's not binary. Okay, good. Now, what else do we have? All right, let's conclude in 1 minute with the Navy SEAL maxim, which is what, Diane? Correct. Yesterday was the only easy day. Yes, yesterday was the only easy day. How do you get from point A to point B? It's simple. Not easy, but one hack, one way you can do it is just to resolve that yesterday was the only easy day. I'm just going to push myself a little bit further. And if you think about that, if you're going from point A to point B up the hill, you're pushing. Yesterday you got to this point. Today you need to get to that point. Yesterday was the only easy day. Push yourself just a little bit more than you did yesterday. How do you do that? You can embrace the suck, get comfortable being uncomfortable. You can choose the hard path. 2 choices, easy, hard. Choose the hard path. Simple things like that. Have a goal. Right. Have a goal with the C5 complex. Your goal needs to be clear, concise, compelling, consistent, and you have to be committed to it. That's 5 things. C5. Okay, with that, let us say and cut. Somebody, okay, there we go. Diana, and cut. And Todd one day will say and cut. I know Charlene is thinking and cut. Until tomorrow, Auf Wiedersehen.